Hey everybody, this is Kayla Symone. Welcome back to my channel, and in this video I'm going to show you how I got this natural looking foundation and how I avoided cake face, because we don't want that. So if you're interested, stay tuned. Starting off with my brows already done, and my brow routine will be linked down below, but it's definitely a video I've already gone in depth with. This is my Clinique foundation, and I'm going to use a damp beauty blender. Keywords is damp. Beauty blender definitely needs to be damp, and I'm going to actually mix my foundation with my Rimmel Stay Matte Primer because I totally forgot to prime my face, but in this instance it also eliminated a layer that would be on top of my skin. So mixing my foundation and my primer actually worked out very well. You'll see me mixing it on my hand. It doesn't alter the color of my foundation or anything, so I really like that, and I like that it eliminated a layer, ultimately eliminating cakiness. So outside of mixing my foundation and my primer, one of my other tips that I have picked up is less is more. So I dab on my foundation, but I only dab on what I feel like I need. I'm not pouring the foundation directly on my face. I'm not adding way too much. If anything, I kind of wasted some product because there was still some on my hand. Now with the damp beauty blender, what I'm going to be doing is patting and almost rolling the beauty blender as I'm patting it into my skin. Now most of the time you do see me, if I'm patting fast, it looks like I'm just patting, but the technique is to pat and roll. And the reason why you pat and roll is because if you do have oily skin or you have porous areas, in order to disguise those areas, you want to cover every single area of the pore, if that makes sense. And I actually picked up this technique from Wayne Goss, and I will link, I think, the video between the video or his channel down below. But I really like him. Also, a lot of these techniques were picked up by Miss Nakia Joy as well, so I really like them both. They give great makeup tips, and Miss Nakia Joy is also an oily girl, so she's been giving me really good tips on how to make your foundation look flawless. Well, you guys have already seen me contour and conceal. I'm just using my Tarte Shape Tape in the color tan, which is my favorite concealer right now. And if you notice, I'm still using the pat and roll motion, and the concealer, I also didn't apply it directly under my eyes. It was like a little bit lower and then blend it up. That way you don't get a harsh line right under your eyes, and you have room to blend out the product. And so I'm just patting and rolling, and now I'm going to go in with my NYX HD concealer for a contour shade just to warm my face back up, and again patting and rolling. And Nakia Joy also gave me this tip from watching her video, which was to blend your contour up. Always blend up, don't ever take it down, because it's going to make your face look saggier, and we don't want that, girl. We just want to mimic the natural shadows in our face. And so yep, I really love this tip. Now I'm just going to take this Real Techniques buffing brush, and I'm going to just buff out all of the areas that I highlighted and contour. That way they all mesh together and melt together, and it's just really further blending. There's no real science to it but further blending. Then I'm just taking my Sacha Buttercup and setting the highlighted areas just with a little powder brush. I decided not to bake today, and honestly I think it turned out really good. So I just kind of set the under eyes with and the forehead, like everywhere where I wanted to highlight at, with that Sacha Buttercup. And then I go in with my Sephora powder, and this is the color 3510, I believe, and this is the radiant powder. And I kind of just go over the areas that I highlighted and all over the face and buff it in and stipple it in. And the reason why I say stipple and push the product in is because it helps the product all melt together, and you're not looking like you got powder on top of powder on top of powder. So, and you'll see at the end of the video that my skin still has a skin-like finish to it. Hey everyone, so I am back. I finished just the rest of my face, and as you can see, the results again still look like skin. So I'm super duper excited. I think this will be kind of like my go-to foundation routine from now on, just because I love the finish. It's not overwhelming, like, oh, she has a full face of makeup on. It's like, oh, she has a nice little glow here, a nice pop of color on the cheeks. And I think that the application of the foundation really helped everything else kind of glide on easier and look better. So the few techniques that I'm going to retouch about that I use is, number one, I did eliminate a layer of what I'm packing onto my face. So and that was on accident as well. In the middle of me deciding to put on my foundation, I was like, oh shoot, I didn't prime. And so I mixed my primer with my foundation, and the primer that I mixed was it's my favorite drugstore primer, and it's the Rimmel Stay Matte Primer. Excuse my nails because they're ugly. So it was the Rimmel Stay Matte Primer. What I did was mix that with my Clinique Super Balanced Foundation, and this is in the color 9 Silk Bamboo, just in case you were wondering. And with me mixing those two, it did not alter the color at all. It made the foundation spread a little bit, so which is pretty cool because I don't have to use as much product, so I'm getting more bang for my buck. I mixed them on the back of my hand, I dabbed it over my face, and just used absolutely what I needed. I wasn't going to douse my face in foundation when I don't need to douse my face in foundation. So that was a really great alternative for me. I think that really aided in eliminating the layers of makeup that's going on my face. I also, as you can tell, the points that I highlighted on my face aren't like super, you can't tell the difference in the texture on my face or anything like that, and that goes to the technique of the Beauty Blender. Number one, I always wanted my Beauty Blenders to be super damp, and obviously this is a recap, so if you guys want to skip this part of the video, you can. But the Beauty Blender is damp, and just using it in that kind of pressing and rolling motion is really, really great. I got that tip from both, I think, Nakia Joy, who's a YouTuber, Australian YouTuber, and Wayne Goss. And so with them being makeup artists, I kind of started watching their videos just to really see like how they apply their foundation, and I think both really deal with oily skin. Nakia Joy is specifically an oily skin YouTuber, so I will link their channels down below just so you can see what I'm talking about, but they give really, really great tips. And so just to press down and push and roll the foundation and the concealer in, or whatever you're blending out, really, really helps. I think that it kind of, if you have porous areas like mine's are here and on my forehead, it really helps to cover all surfaces of the pore, so that way it does a better job in aiding and disguising it, if that makes any sense at all. And just like I said, always have your Beauty Blenders damp, even if it is a black one that you use for powder. Like I use my black one for powder. No matter what color, what you use it for, it helps to have it damp. Now, since I didn't have my powder Beauty Blender damp, I just used a powder brush to powder the highlighted areas because I just didn't feel like going through all that. But that also worked as well, and I think that also aided in having kind of a natural finish. And also the brush technique that I use with my Real Techniques brush. Let me see if I can find it. When I use this brush after I contoured and highlighted to still buff everything out, number one. And then I also use, which I probably shouldn't use it for both, but look, I need to get some brushes, so don't judge me. But I also use this brush with my Sephora powder. And this is it's Sephora's Radiant Powder. I need to find everything to get my life together. With my Sephora powder, when I just dabbed it in there and I was pushing it and buffing out. So I was still stippling the product into my skin, even though it's a powder, and buffing it out. So that way, again, it's not sitting on top of each other, but they're really melting together. And I think that I'm super happy with these techniques. I think that they're just going to help make me better in what I've been doing. So give me a thumbs up if you like this video. Please subscribe to my channel if you're not already subscribed. Give me some comments and some feedback down below because I love talking to you guys. And I will probably talk to you guys next time. Hopefully the next video will be a hair video or something. I was lazy and just did another wash and go because that's my go-to style. But I love you guys. If you're already subscribed, you know I'd like double love you. But if you're not, you know what I'm saying? Like, just come on over here. Just come on over here. You know, kick it with your girl for like once or twice a week, depending on how much I upload, and then we'll be good. So I will talk to you guys next time. I hope you have a wonderful day, and peace.